Welcome to the John and Heidi Show podcast.
John and Heidi.
Here's John and Heidi.
Thank you so much for listening to the John and Heidi Show on a Monday. Hey, baby, how you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. I'm excited because we got a guest coming up later in the program. Guess who we're going to be talking to today?
Who's that?
The Amazing Kreskin.
Okay.
Yeah, he's the guy that makes predictions and does all kinds of stuff. He's got a new book coming out. We're going to be chatting with the Amazing Kreskin. I'm excited about that.
Cool beans.
Cool beans?
Cool beans.
You're right. I haven't heard that in a long time. Hey, scientists are now hoping to create a source of stem cells by fusing human cells with rabbit eggs to create embryos that are mostly human but part rabbit. Nothing could possibly go wrong with all this.
What could possibly happen?
It's going to be all kinds of crazy.
Ridiculous.
I don't even know if that... It's probably harmless, but it just sounds really weird.
I don't think it's a good idea.
It sounds very bizarre. Coming up, we got some special stuff going on today. We'll tell you about that in a bit.
John and Heidi.
Today is a special day, Heidi. Do you know what today is?
What is today, John?
So you never ask. It's Monday, January the 9th. Today is National Static Electricity Day. It's a shocking day, you might say.
Nice.
It's also Law Enforcement Appreciation Day.
Every day should be Law Enforcement
I agree.
Appreciation Day.
A little slow clap for the police officers out there. I was watching Rudy the other day on TV. Remember the football movie? And they did the slow clap on there for Rudy. I thought that was pretty cool. Fun fact for you, Heidi. Oh, no, that's the wrong thing. That's coming up later. What am I doing? Oh, yeah. Hey, it's also... See, I shouldn't have clapped. I can't talk.
It's a Monday.
I can't talk and clap at the same time. It is National Clean Off Your Desk Day today. Oh, boy. It couldn't have come any more appropriately. Look how awful my desk is right now. It's bad. It is Balloon Ascension Day today, so you're supposed to let balloons go and they just go flying up. It is Panama's Martyr Day today, and it's National Cassoulet Day. So there you go. All of that happening on this Monday, the 9th day of January.
John and Heidi.
It's a new year, and many have made resolutions. Have you? If your resolution is to quit smoking, I want to help. This is one of the biggest resolutions every year. I met a hypnotist that's been able to help people with this one. He can send you a Stop Smoking Hypnosis CD program that you just listen to, and it's designed to help you quit smoking. It's available at a discount for our listeners right now at radiosavings.com. Get the tobacco-free CD program for just $40. That offer is available right now at radiosavings.com. That's radiosavings.com.
John and Heidi.
You know it's true because you heard it on the radio. There's a lot of moving parts in this next story. This just sounds like a funny incident. A police trap catches a running llama. A circus llama in Hamburg escaped from his owner.
A circus llama? I didn't know there was such a thing as a circus llama.
I didn't know there was either. This, again, is in Hamburg, Germany. So over there, they have circus llamas.
Okay.
And it ran straight into the police. In fact, it ran into a police speed trap. The animal was with its owner in a local marketplace when it escaped and ran down a nearby road. Police say the animal overtook several cars of officers, clocked it running, guess how fast?
I have no idea how fast llamas even go.
10 miles per hour. They caught the animal and gave him back to the owner. So there you go.
I like llamas.
You know, there was the movie, The Emperor's New Groove.
Yes.
And after watching that, I like llamas too. Before, I never even thought of llamas. And I'm sure that movie is probably not...
That is one of my favorite cartoons.
It's probably not like, accurate as far as how llamas are.
No, I'm pretty sure.
But that llama was pretty cool. He was pretty cool. And also on there, Kronk was pretty cool.
Kronk was awesome.
We love Patrick Warburton. Mm-hmm. I mean, I shouldn't even admit this. We were the other day with our son. Our son is 20, and he's got a weird sense of humor, and he likes dumb stuff. And we were watching The Tick.
You're the one who found that.
I know, but we watched it because I knew Troy would like it. So
I liked it too. I thought it was great.
It was really funny. I don't think we should admit that we liked The Tick. Patrick Warburton was in that. And it was from 2001.
I thought it was really funny.
It wasn't very good, but it was very funny.
I thought it was really funny.
Yeah, it was terrible. Anyway, this dude here, this llama, he was running 10 whopping miles an hour. And you know that it's true because you heard it on the radio.
John and Heidi.
The John and Heidi Show is brought to you in part by the Keystone Treatment Center.
This is your brain, and this is your brain on drugs. We share silly stories here on the program, but addiction is no joke. If you or someone you know suffers with an addiction to drugs or alcohol, make today the day you seek help.
Call toll-free 844-204-1055.
That's a toll-free number. Again,
844-204-1055.
and this is your brain on drugs. Now, if you were a drug dealer, first of all, you're probably not the brightest bulb on the old Christmas tree because that's not a good thing to do. It's illegal, right?
Right.
But a little advice for aspiring drug traffickers out there. When carrying illegal drugs, it's not a good idea to draw attention to yourself by getting into, a fight with, another person over, money. Bad idea. Lesson learned the hard way for Portland, Maine's Nicholas Foley. He might have gotten away with this little, faux pas, but when police were preparing to release him, he became sick and puked up 31 bags of heroin.
Wow.
Upon further investigation, they found another 9 bags that were still in there. He was in... he actually had some hidden in a pack of cigarettes that was in possession of the now re-incarcerated Mr. Foley. So with his personal effects, there were 9 packs of heroin in there too. Anyway, moral of the story
People are
is,
stupid.
if you're a human drug mule, maybe don't get in a fight with somebody. Just saying. Coming up, your moment of duh.
John and Heidi.
Now your moment of duh. Going to the wrong address can be disastrous for your career. Like this wrecking crew in New York City that showed up to knock down a 3-story building in Queens. With one swing of the wrecking ball, they knocked a 10-foot hole in the wrong building. Yeah. Startled tenants were forced to evacuate. The foundation had to be repaired before they could return.
How horrible for the people in that building. I bet they were absolutely terrified.
Can you imagine just sitting there? Now, there was a movie. Maybe it's based on that. This says this event happened in 2006, so it's only 11 years old. But remember the movie with Will Ferrell where he was in his apartment and the wrecking ball knocked a hole in the wall?
Yeah.
What was that called?
I don't know.
Stranger Than Fiction. I thought of it while you were... What are you doing over there?
Looking through the mail.
Would you stop? Can I please? It's almost like you don't care anymore. Just kind of getting that feeling these days. All right, coming up, we've got your scoop of the day. That's on the way.
The Scoop of the Day is brought to you by Wells Blue Bunny. If you want delicious ice cream, be sure to look for the Blue Bunny. Sure to have your favorite flavors. Learn more at bluebunny.com.
Now your scoop of the day. Don't be surprised if you can't find any guacamole. There's a shortage of avocados, and as a result, right now, prices have doubled, in some cases tripled from a year ago, so guacamole is getting harder to find.
I'm not a fan anyway, so
I've
that really
never
does
tried
not
it.
affect me.
I shouldn't even admit
You've never
that.
tried guacamole?
Never tried it.
I've tried it. It's really not... I mean,
it's
I
just,
don't know.
I look at it and I go, maybe next time. Now, here's the thing. I got to tell you, I purposely avoided broccoli for almost 40 years, and then when I tried it, I love it. I love broccoli. So, I don't know. Maybe I should try some guacamole. That's how Jeb Bush said it during the election. Guacamole. I was like, what? Whack-a-mole? No, guacamole. All right. Hey, a new study found that taking a hot bath for a half hour burns about the same number of calories as a half-hour walk.
Ah.
Hot bath, half-hour walk.
See, there you go.
Hot bath, half-hour walk. Yeah, I'm going to sign up for that hot bath.
I'm doing that tonight, actually.
There you go. Have you heard about this? A real-life furniture farm. A farmer and artist, Gavin Monroe, is actually growing fully formed furniture. Have you heard about this?
No.
He grafts parts of the trees together while they're still growing, creating functional tables and chairs.
Huh.
It's actually pretty darn cool. It can take about 10 years, though, to grow what you want him to, for him to grow what you want him to grow.
And then by the time it gets done, you don't want it anymore.
And you're like, yeah, you know what?
Your tastes have changed.
I went out and bought a different table, believe it or not, in the last 10 years. If you'd like to see more, he's got a little Kickstarter thing going, and there's images on there.
I bet they're insanely expensive.
It's not cheap, but you can check it out at facebook.com/John and Heidi Show. I've got a link there. Heidi's going to go. We're going to end up with a tree trunk table or something.
No.
Hey, a new millipede has been found with 414 legs.
Gosh.
200 poisonous glands on it as well. It's exactly what we need.
Gosh, those things are nasty.
I'm not exactly sure what the...
Centipedes and millipedes.
Not for you?
Do they even serve a purpose? What do they do?
I don't know. Maybe that's where we're going to find the cure for something. So I have no idea. And we'll never know because everybody gets freaked out and like,
oh, they're awful.
Don't
Those
touch
things
it.
are awful. Those are worse than spiders. Way worse than
Are they
spiders.
really?
Oh, you can cut them in half and they will keep running.
That's not good.
Because I stabbed
You've done
one
it?
with a shovel one time and it kept
Both
running.
sides ran away.
No, only the front side kept running. And it ran down a crack and it probably grew more legs and came back to get me again later. Anything that you can cut it in half and it keeps running, I really don't want anything to do with it.
Can I get back to what I was doing over there?
Sure.
Okay.
Did I mention I don't like millipedes?
I kind of got the feeling over the last 2.5 minutes here. Hey, according to a survey, 1 in 4 Europeans have fallen asleep at work. 1 in 4. That does not surprise me. Hey, it's computer dating for animals. Yeah.
What?
Zookeepers can go online and find a mate for their beast. It's actually a good idea. A database called ZIMS. It's for Zoological Information Management System. The zoo in Columbia, South Carolina is one of those testing the software. And like matchmaking sites for humans, ZIMS has information on personality traits of their suitors. So if you happen to have a monkey and you're trying to get your monkey, pregnant, you can go on and find another monkey. It's a
Or
cool
if you
idea.
want to make a badonkadonk.
Those don't exist. It was a Z-donk, a zebra and donkey. And I still think, what happened at that zoo? What the? Scientists from Australia and the Netherlands claim they've invented a diet that cuts heart disease by 78%. Sign me up.
Yeah,
also
absolutely.
adds 4.8 years to a woman's life and 6 years to a man's life.
Wow.
You eat 4 servings of fish every week. Okay, I'm out.
We just had fish for supper
I
last
know,
night.
and it's good. I
like fish.
Daily servings of 400 grams of fruits and veggies, 68 grams of almonds, 2.7 grams of garlic, 150 milliliters of red wine, and 100 grams of dark chocolate.
I love all of that stuff.
Let's do it. I'm going to print that out.
Print that out.
I'm going to put it on our Facebook page, too, so that way everybody can
I
do
can
the diet.
definitely do that.
There you go. Thanks for listening to the John and Heidi Show.
John and Heidi.
Radio advertising works. When it's done right, it works even better. There are many things you can do to get a better response, and shouting sale really isn't the best thing, believe it or not. Did you know that when you put words to music, they're 9 times more memorable? If you're trying to get people to remember your company, consider a jingle. We work with one of the very best jingle companies in the business, and we'd love to use music to help you grow your company. Learn more and hear examples at RadioReallyWorks.com. That's RadioReallyWorks.com.
John and Heidi.
Thank you for listening to the John and Heidi Show. Today we've got a guest, the Amazing Kreskin. How you doing, sir?
I'm doing well.
Now, first of all, how long have you been doing what you do? Because you get to kind of predict things and you get to do a lot of cool stuff. Let's talk about your background. How did you get started in this industry?
Yeah, and of course, as people know, I'm really not a fortune teller or a prophet. As a mentalist, I travel the world performing all over the world. In fact, the year before last, from radio, television to concerts, I did 364 concerts around the world.
Wow.
So I keep myself fairly busy.
Oh, yeah.
So I've been doing this now for 60-some years. As the airline industry announced late last year, I've now flown a little over 3 million miles.
Wow.
So, and my work is really dealing with corporate, private, public shows from Vegas to let's say the past year, Spain, Italy, New Zealand, Australia, Japan, Wales, Netherlands, Canada, and the United States. So I'm fairly busy, although I do spend an awful lot of time relaxing because I'm home 4 days a month.
Yeah.
My work deals with reading people's thoughts. That's as a mentalist. The reason I have written about the reason I have predicted the last 4 elections, in 2012 when I walked on the Jimmy Fallon show with a locked metal chest and NBC put it in the safe. It was my predictions for the election, but I delivered it a year and a half before the election. So I never really have announced ahead of time my presidential elections. And this year, which is everybody's been asking me about and discussing with me, I decided to pull out and not make a prediction. At least that was my initial intent. because if you go on the internet, John, all those pictures of me with Donald Trump, because I've been in his home and performed there, and the pictures of Hillary Clinton because I perform a lot in Washington. But I decided a couple of days before I might as well run with it. Everybody and their brother is saying who's going to win, and of course all the polls had it that Clinton would win by a slight edge. So 2 days before, we put in it was a great coup for a business in a women's clothing establishment in New York. It was a great plus for when the owner came to us and said, "Put it here." They guarded it. It was in a safe there, and then the day after Election Day, it was taken to a television studio in New York to be opened. But something happened that I can't explain. Before we went on the air, the gentleman who was the newsman, David Webb, said to me, "You know what happened with Fox?" And I said, "What is going on? Everybody is trying to get a hold of me." It turns out, John, that Fox Television discovered that a year ago, on December 9th of 2015, I was on a local Fox show in Washington, D.C. I guess I was performing in that area, and they had me on in the morning. And here I'm on the show in the morning, and don't you know, they asked me, who's going to win the presidential election 11 months from now? And I said, "I do know, but I don't want to get in trouble." Kreskin said, "I've been in his house, the one that's been shouting all over everywhere." And of course, I alluded to Donald Trump. And it's that. And I have a copy of that on my webpage now because Fox sent it to me. So it was 11 months ahead of time, and I have no memory of ever saying that because I never have in my entire career announced a presidential election ahead of time. So it was a very unusual experience, I want to tell you.
That's really cool, and it's funny that you did it and you kind of forgot that you even did it. That's really cool.
John, that's the strange thing, and I've been interviewed as far away as England, saying, because people have followed my career and said, "Kreskin, you don't make statements ahead of time in the political area as far as predictions, and you did and don't remember." Something provoked me to say it, but I'll tell you, and by the way, John, don't start the rumor that I was drinking heavily. I don't drink. but what made it all the more dramatic and has had me interviewed, in fact, one of the major documentary television shows in network television, I can't go into it now, but they're starting the research on it, was something that happened a few days after the election. I was treated by an eye doctor, and because I was having trouble with my right eye, and accidentally he did something which we didn't know about. I started to get a cloudy vision within hours. Saw an optometrist here where I now live because the other doctor had gone off, and it turns out that the doctor had inadvertently severed and almost detached retina completely. I was totally blind for 4 or 5 weeks with no vision of my ever coming back to see. We kept it secret. I performed everywhere, even in stage concerts and what have you, but no one realized that I had no vision in my right eye. And don't you know, 6 days before Christmas, the doctors were able to change things around, and slowly I'm going to be obtaining my vision back. So that was the best Christmas gift I've ever had in my life.
I'll bet. Again, our guest right now is the Amazing Kreskin, and makes predictions that are just, so impossible for somebody to know, but somehow he's just right, and he knows them, and I don't understand how you do it, but it's fascinating to watch.
I got to mention, I have a new book coming out. It's called In Real Time, and it's my 20th book, and this 20th book, it took me 2 years to write. But the industry, the broadcast industry, and people in the production areas have said, you got to write because you travel so much. It's my commentary on how I think the world is going to be changing in the next 20 years, next century, and what have you. It's not written in. I tried looking in the crystal ball, John, but I keep getting a headache, so I'm not doing that. I just wrote it intuitively. And by the way, I give you a lot of credit that you believe in local business is the key to a strong community, and boy, I support you in that. I think it's a very positive premise.
Well, thank you very much. I think it's a good thing, and I encourage people when they're going out to buy books, I say if you can start at your local bookstore first, that would be good. But man, people just find it so easy to click on that giant website and buy them. And it's kind of sad because then one day when you want to go and buy a book from your local bookstore that you can read today, when they're gone, you're going to say, sure would be nice if they were here.
The other thing is we're relying too much in our personal lives on an instrument that we carry in the restaurants, put on a table, and have access. We've got to communicate with people personally more and more because that is slowly disappearing in U.S. culture.
Now, you've been doing this for a long time. You said 60 years you've been doing this. How has your industry changed? Has it changed in a good way, or has it changed in a bad way?
Well, my work is my own work because by the way, my public concerts are not just hour and 20-minute performances for private affairs and events. My public concerts run 2 hours and 38 minutes. I'm on stage by myself for 2 hours and 38 minutes. My work has become more exciting than before because there seems to be greater interest. I think part of the reason is, and it's unfortunately true, before the Civil War, before the First World War, before the Second World War, and now more than ever before, there's interest in the area of the untapped potentials of the human mind and what have you. I think because people are looking for other answers. Not that I have all the answers, I do not, but our politicians, John, have not answered everything in life. I've not. By the way, in spite of all my appearances on broadcast and news shows, I have nothing against politicians. I just wish that most of them had been on the Titanic. And incidentally, I meet with a lot. I perform for a lot of them. So, but we need new breath in our political world, unfortunately, because the bottom line is, and I alert this to you, and I have people. I just heard of a young man in Vermont that's made a decision about this, but at the same time, remember our originally founding fathers did not mean that politics was a profession. They were supposed to be giving back of their success. So Washington was a farmer. And after he appeared as a general and was a president, they wanted to run again. He says, no, it's time for someone else. That's what politics was supposed to be. You show me someone that's been in politics for 20, 30, 40 years, and if you don't think there's some kind of corruption, I'll send you the Brooklyn Bridge.
Yeah, no kidding. And it's crazy. When they go to Washington, they've got just a little bit of money, and when they leave, they're multimillionaires. And you think
the interest, John. You just said something significant because it was not meant the salaries and so forth. As a matter of fact, I predict, and this is a general prediction. There's no specifics about it, but I predict that in a few years you're going to have people running for office who are going. In fact, some are going to be intending to give the money back that they're paid as in their office time because they were only going to spend a limited one term in contributing of their services. Those are going to be the inspirations and models. And by the way, I want a warning. A very important warning for those of you going to college. And just we had a few years ago a march on Wall Street, and I certainly support public opposition and positions and what have you. We also have just a few weeks ago, when Trump became elected to president, a number of college groups, including major wealthy universities, have said they couldn't take the exam that day. They couldn't do the term because they were so upset about his winning. I want to warn both of you people, and I can go as far away as Germany. In the case of those that marched on Wall Street in some defecated cars, unfortunately today, for the past 3, 4, 5 years, when people apply from the United States to jobs in certain German companies and certain companies all over the United States, they're asked where they went to school, if they say New York area, when did they go, if they say the same time as these incidents took place on Wall Street, don't you know, in another room is flashed on the wall the faces of all the people that were protesting, and the companies are checking if this person is amongst those faces. The people who got out of taking an exam a few weeks ago, listen to me, you folks, because I've done over 1,000 university shows in this country. Listen to me. Your names have already been sold They're on the list of a number of companies because the feeling is this. If you get so upset because someone found office that you were not supporting, that you couldn't take an exam, they're thinking twice about ever hiring you for a job, because what if the job has stresses in it and you've got to make quick decisions? We need to realize that our past today in this day and age can never be erased again.
Yeah, very true.
When I have announced these stories, I have had professors call me and say, Kreskin, shout this out, because this information is now leaking into business groups, because information is cheaply accessible today, John.
It is. And it's crazy to talk about the past with Kreskin, who usually talks about the future. But you're right. Your past will catch up with you.
Yeah, John, I've got the book coming out, and I'll tell you what we should do, because my time situation it's been tight now. Perhaps in a couple of weeks, you get a hold of us, and I'll get a copy of the book too. We'll talk about the book on the air, and I'll discuss with you some of the far predictions in the years to come. Let's do that in the near future, because I got to get going. I hope you understand my schedule is kind of crazy.
I do, and I appreciate you taking the time that you've taken.
John, I want to assure all your listeners, listen, folks, if I'm in the area and he and I appear on the air together, I'm going to be cautious. I dare not read John's thoughts on the air. I'm only joking, John.
Yeah.
John, if we can't laugh in this day and age with all the politically correct business, we're in trouble. We've got to be able to laugh at difficulties as well as move on and solve problems.
I agree 100%. Thank you so much for taking the time to chat with me, and I hope you do get to the area. We'd love to get out and see you.
But, John, get a hold of us if you're interested. We'll get the book to you, and we'll do some interviews in a few weeks. Okay, John?
Very good.
Happy New Year, John.
Happy New Year to you as well.
Yeah, thanks.
The Amazing Kreskin, and his latest book, number 20, is out right now, In Real Time, and that is available wherever fine books are sold. Thanks for listening to The John and Heidi Show.
John and Heidi.
When is the last time you changed the air filter on your furnace? Now, don't be embarrassed. That happens to a bunch of us. The furnace filter should be changed often. This will help your heating and cooling system run more efficiently, and it'll even extend the life of your system. Now, there's an easy way to make it happen. Filter Easy, a new subscription service that delivers your size filter right to your door on the schedule you choose. It's easy. Filter Easy. One less thing to worry about. Learn about a special offer available now at radiosavings.com.
John and Heidi.
Fun fact for you, Heidi.
What's that, John?
This might be my favorite fun fact. I mean, the favorite for probably at least the last 2 months. Dolphins can kill sharks by ramming them with their snouts.
Oh, that's awesome.
I had no clue. I mean, I am a little more impressed with Flipper right about now. And Zipper. Zipper is surly.
Zipper's surly.
Yeah. And if you don't know what that means, you need to get online and check
You
out
need to
Brian
do a
Regan.
life.
Hey, fun fact for you, Heidi.
What's that, John?
Pittsburgh is the only city in America where all of the professional sport teams wear the same colors. Everywhere else, they all wear different colors willy-nilly. But in Pittsburgh, they don't clash. They all wear black and gold. Get on the bus.
Okay.
Fun fact for you, Heidi.
What's that, John?
Speaking of black, Model T Fords, 16 million were made. Every single one was black. Mm-hmm. Yeah, you can have any color you want as long as it's black. That's what Henry Ford said back in the day. And our final fun fact for you, Heidi.
What's that, John?
In addition to 5 sides, the Pentagon building also has 5 stories. So the Pentagon is 5 stories with 5 sides.
Oh, I
That's
did
why
not
they
know that.
call it the Pentagon. Now you know. A couple of fun facts for you on a Monday.
John and Heidi.
This is Richard Lustig, the world's first and only 7-time lottery game grand prize winner. Since I endorsed Lottolicious, I have won something every single draw. They do all the work. You don't have to worry about running to the store to buy your tickets. They take care of all that. So if you're looking for the best way to play the lottery, to give yourself the best chance of winning, go to radiolottopool.com and join today. Again, that website is radiolottopool.com.
John and Heidi.
Thanks for listening to the John and Heidi Show on a Monday. Cleanliness is next to godliness, right?
That's what they say.
Yeah, but apparently not. Some experts say Americans are obsessively clean with our use of antibacterials, so clean that it's actually counterproductive. The problem is that all that scrubbing and sponging may be weakening the immune systems in some people. It helps. It actually kills helpful germs, And then it spurs growth of mutant strains of superbacteria. Mm-hmm. Stuart Levy from Tufts University, he's a geneticist there. How cool would that be? What do you do? I'm a geneticist for Tufts University. Anyway, Americans are being swayed by advertising campaigns to be clean. Clean. So clean that we're too clean. I mean, we are so clean that we have no good germs around to beat up all those bad germs, and then all we have left are the bad germs. It says here, according to Levy, sometimes bacteria are the good guys, strengthening our bodies, defenses, and warding off germs, end quote. He said researchers have proven that the overuse of antibacterials like antibiotics will actually create stronger, more dangerous strains of bacteria. So you don't necessarily need to be... Our son, for a while there, was using hand sanitizer.
Yeah. So much that his hands were cracking.
Yeah, he was getting like chapped hands because it dries out. It's got alcohol in it. So when you use that, it dries quicker.
Yeah.
And his hands would dry out and they would get all cracked and funky looking. I'm like, just put the hand sanitizer away. So, I'm trying to use it. I'm like, that's not moisturizer. It's doing the exact opposite of what you think it's doing. So you got to be careful out there. Coming up here in a bit, we're going to talk about somebody who got a fine for throwing away an envelope. Well, there's a little more to it than that, but we'll tell you what that's all about. Also, we've got some good news to wrap up the program here. That's at the end. We always end with good news. So thanks for listening to The John and Heidi Show.
John and Heidi.
It's a new year, and many have made resolutions. Have you? If your resolution was to lose weight, you're not alone. This is the single biggest resolution every year. And every year, millions of people try, and many fail. I met a hypnotist that's been able to help people with this one. He can send you a weight loss hypnosis program on CD that you just listen to, and it's designed to help you reduce the cravings. It's available at a discount for our listeners right now at radiosavings.com. Get the weight loss CD program for just $50. That offer is available now at radiosavings.com.
John and Heidi.
In East London, a woman was fined $35, I'm assuming that's pounds probably, if it's in London, for throwing an envelope in the trash.
Okay.
Their government has threatened a woman with a fine of £35 for putting 2 envelopes from her handbag into a rubbish bin, of all places, against the law to take your own personal trash from home and dump it in a public waste container, they say.
What?
We're talking about 2 old envelopes here. No matter, the government hired people to sort through the trash looking for clues as to who this notorious criminal might be.
Oh, my goodness.
They discovered it was Lisa from Hackney, East London. After they spent several man-hours tracking down who she happened to be, they've now hit her with a fine of $35. You guys might have been further ahead, not even bugging this lady.
You know how much they wasted trying to find out who those envelopes were?
Now she's going to take them to court, and they're going to lose.
That's ridiculous.
Yeah, just get over it. I mean, if it's $35 fine for just throwing a couple of envelopes in the trash, imagine how much trouble we would be in. We've thrown a lot of things away. Coming up here in a bit, we've got more fun stuff, and we've got some good news. And later in the program, we're going to be talking about 5 ways to reduce stress for women. I'm not sure why they don't have men on the list, but that's all coming up here in a bit.
John and Heidi.
Heidi, do you trust your doctor?
I don't really have a doctor.
Do I have a doctor?
No.
No, so we don't need to trust our doctor because we don't have one.
Because we don't trust doctors.
Well, certainly. That has nothing to do with it, honestly. We just, thank goodness, haven't needed one in a long time. So I guess if we needed one, we would have a doctor. But a survey finds some doctors are not always completely honest with their patients. More than half of the doctors that were surveyed admitted describing somebody's prognosis in a way that they knew was too rosy, really. Another 20% said they hadn't fully disclosed a medical mistake because they were afraid of being sued. So they had a boo-boo, but they're like, hey, we don't know where your stuff went. And if you hear your watch beeping inside of your stomach, that may be, I don't know. It's probably not big stuff like that. But there was some little boo-boo, and 20% of the doctors said they didn't fully disclose the boo-boo. 1 in 10 surveyed said they've told a patient something that was not true within the last year. So these doctors...
1 in 10.
1 in 10.
That's not very
admitted
good.
it during a survey.
Right.
So think about how many wouldn't admit it. They're like, I'm not going to tell you. I mean,
wow.
You think I'm a dummy? No way. I've already stitched the wrong arm on that guy. So I'm going to tell you what I did. All right, coming up, 5 ways to reduce stress for women. That's on the way.
John and Heidi.
It's a new year, and many have made resolutions. Have you? If your resolution was to quit drinking or to kick a drug habit, we want to help. Our friends at Keystone can help you determine the best program for your particular needs. This is something that really matters to me. My father was an alcoholic. He lost his battle at age 49. That's just too young. If you're searching for help, I hope my friends at Keystone can help you find the help you're looking for. Call 844-204-1055. That's Keystone, 844-204-1055.
John and Heidi.
Heidi, I've got a list here of 5 ways to reduce stress for women. Number 1, stay away from men. Just kidding. That's not really number 1. But it says
I bet
here.
it's on the list.
No, it's not. It says, join a gym. Exercise is a proven stress buster.
Yeah.
We've joined a gym. We've
joined
not
a gym.
yet
We have not
gone
yet
there.
gone.
I don't know why I haven't lost weight. I've been
I
a member.
am positive that we had to activate a
I don't
card.
think so. I'm going to just
Okay.
go try that card and see. Number 2 on the list, eat less fat. Again, these are ways to reduce stress. So if you're trying to reduce
right.
stress, less fat. It says if you're overweight, this small change can help reduce fat to a more desirable level, and that's going to help you with stress as well. Next, have a massage. A skilled masseur will literally push out any negative vibes and allow a half hour or more of complete abandonment by having a massage. Next, get a facial. That's like a massage for your face. A great way to wake up pores, and it also says here, what is it? 2 main ways to experience a facial. One at the hands of a professional. Another one is a do-it-yourself kit. I'd like to see that. What are you doing? Massaging my face. Did you get out of here? I was just wondering because I pulled you over. I noticed you were going kind of fast. Don't do that while driving. And the last thing on the list, if you want to reduce the stress in your life, guess what it says?
What is that?
Go shopping.
I love shopping.
Never underestimate the relaxing properties of retail therapy. They say, we all know that spending a little of our hard-earned cash is number 1 to cheer us up without fail. Says we are happier and we feel more relaxed when we get to go shopping. That is exactly the opposite for me, by the way. I mean, if I have to go shopping, I'm not relaxed. I'm like, I'm on a mission. I don't go shopping. I go buying. I walk in, I buy what I need, and I get the heck out of there.
I can spend hours and hours and not buy
I know.
anything.
I've sat in the car while you've done it. So and you come out and I'm like, you're in there for 3 hours. What'd you get? Yeah, I didn't get anything.
I didn't get anything.
What?
What do you mean you didn't get anything?
This is a true story. It's happened. All right, we've got some good news. That's on the way.
John and Heidi.
This portion of the John and Heidi Show is brought to you by the John and Heidi Show. That sounds kind of funny, but it's true. Go to your local radio station and ask them to start carrying the John and Heidi Show. Here's the best part. They can carry the show for free. They play a couple commercials, but it doesn't cost them anything every month. So if you know a radio station that could use a little bit of help, send them our way. Send them to johnandheidishow.com. Again, johnandheidishow.com. We would love to do a radio program in your community. Then you could listen to the podcast and listen to us on the radio.
John and Heidi.
We always try to wrap this program up with some good news, and I think we've got some good news here. This is a really cool thing that I'd never heard of before. You'll have to tell me if you've heard of this. If you've got a bunch of empty cardboard boxes, maybe sitting in the garage or in the storage room, maybe it's from moving, maybe it's just stuff from Christmas, whatever. If you've got a bunch of stuff you want to get rid of and you don't know what to do with it, according to Relevant Magazine, Amazon has created a thing called the Give Back Box campaign. Have you heard of this?
I have.
It says it's really simple. You take an old cardboard box, fill it with stuff you want to donate to be sold at Goodwill thrift stores, print a label at givebackbox.com, and then UPS or the Postal Service will take it to the nearest Goodwill store, and Amazon will pick up the shipping bill. That's really cool. So
It is cool.
You don't pay anything, so you can just put stuff in that box.
Get rid of stuff in your garage, get rid of stuff everywhere, and they'll come and pick it up for you.
We don't need a garbage service after all. We just need some boxes.
No.
I'm just kidding. That would be
You'd
so
probably
mean.
they would have your address.
Return
once
label?
Yeah.
Excuse me, you're going to have
be
to.
in trouble.
You're really going to have to quit putting all your cereal boxes in this thing. No, don't do that. But it is a cool idea. I have a link if you'd like to get all the details on the Give Back Box program. Amazon is the one putting that together. That's really cool. It's nice that they're giving back.
It's nice.
If you'd like to know more, again, Facebook.com/John and Heidi Show. Time to say goodbye, Heidi.
Goodbye, Heidi.
Goodbye, everybody. Have a great day. Thank you for listening to the John and Heidi Show on a Monday.